Hello and welcome to Cooking Unseen. Today we're going to be making homemade biscuits and gravy. So I have 1 cup of flour in the bowl and 1/2 cup on the parchment paper, and we're going to add another cup to the bowl. So I've got 1 stick of butter and I'm gonna just grate it up.
Normally we would use the box cutter that's next to him, but today we thought we would do this because the butter we've had in the freezer, so it's frozen. And the less we handle it, the better off you are with your biscuits, because it's that butter being frozen in the biscuits that's going to make it nice and fluffy. And you may notice that we're doing it on parchment paper, because that way we've got a clean counter. We can fold that up on the parchment paper and carry it over to our biscuits. And the biscuits where he's working is also on parchment paper for the same reason. We can easily roll out the biscuits and then clean up the counter. So to finish the butter, he's going to use this pusher rather than your fingers, right? I'm handing it to you. There you go. So that just goes down inside there. And that finishes it up. All right, back over to the flour mixture. He's going to drop his grated frozen butter.
So now I'm just gonna mix it up with the flour, but not where the butter is gonna melt, just to get it coated.
Ready? Here we go.
So we've put 1 cup of buttermilk in the flour mixture already. We're gonna put 2 cups, so we're gonna measure the buttermilk. And we're gonna pour it in the bowl with the other.
So the rest of this biscuit is also done by hand, and he's just folding in that buttermilk into the flour, just rolling it over with his hands till he is able to make a soft ball. All right.
So now we had to add 1/4 cup of flour because it was a little sticky, so we're just gonna roll it and get the flour incorporated to the mixture.
This is a definitely a messy job. He's already washed his hands between every one of these applications. So the deal is to fold this over till it's easier to work. A little less buttermilk. You can always put 1 cup and then 1/2 cup and see if you need more. So that made this just a little sticky to use 2 full cups. So he's got to roll it in there till it gets to where it's pliable.
Okay, so once you get it to where you can work it, we're just gonna fold it over on itself a few times. And then just pat it out into a square or a rectangle. Just enough to where you can cut biscuits out of it.
Go.
So that fold broke, but we're gonna fold it again, just like this. And just, once again, just pat it into a square or a rectangle.
All right, fold it from this side to side. Yeah, long ways. And I think once you pat it out, this next time you'll be ready to go. Oh, that's a good fold. Awesome. So just pat that out, and then we'll be ready to cut the biscuits. You can use a rolling pin. Do you want to use a rolling pin today? Or just pat it?
Just my hands is fine. So I ended up having to add flour a couple of times, but I think it's ready to go now.
Yeah, the dough can just be a little sticky, and you just grab a little flour out of your flour container and sprinkle it on the top of it so it'll fold out. So we also have a parchment paper on a bread sheet that he's going to use, so we won't have cleanup there either, because the parchment paper will keep it from sticking.
So now we're just gonna cut the biscuits out.
And one of the things he does is he fills the edge of his rectangle and gets close to it for his biscuit. Oh, that one got away from you. There he goes. And then he fills that hole and goes right next to it. Right, that one stayed behind, so sometimes you do have to pull it out with your fingers. Yeah, just grab it with your fingers to pull it out of there.
I think that's too.
There you go. Perfect. Yep. And we'll do that all the way around. There you go. Just grab it with your fingers. That other one's perfect.
It's jumbled up too much now. I can't.
Let me see if I can give you a little help. So this one, again, it's ready to go. Very good.
Maybe we should have added just 1 cup or something.
of the buttermilk. Yeah, ours was a little sticky for sure. 1.5 cups would have been plenty, I think.
On here?
Yeah, so one of the things we saw, let me show you right here, is you can see where it's sticking to our paper because we didn't have enough flour. So that was the problem. So he's going to put a little more flour on his pan, on his parchment paper. And he's rolled up the ball where the ones he's cut out. And he's gonna put that over onto your flour now. And fold it at least once. And make a square again. Alright, so he got a good fold on that. Now he's gonna pat it out. One of the things that's hard when you can't see is, are your edges getting, real thin? So Owen uses his hand to feel those edges so that he knows they're not fading away into a pancake size and squishing down the middle to be even. All right, now he's going to cut out the next batch. This one didn't stick as bad now that we got some more flour going on. It's looking good. Oh, and sometimes people dip their cutter in flour too. That makes it fall off easier. We might try that. So on the next go round, let's dip that cutter into flour and see if that makes it fall out easier. And we've got one biscuit right here that has a little, yeah, squish it back up. There you go. All right, on this one, he's dipped that cutter into the flour. Let's see if this next biscuit comes out easier. Pick it up very nicely. All right.
Okay, so we've made the biscuits, and now we're just gonna roll the parchment paper up and throw it in the trash can.
And one more piece. Yeah. All right, next what he's going to do, and people do different things to make the top of their biscuits look pretty. They can put some butter or they can put egg wash. But one of the things that we've always done is just coat them a little bit with buttermilk. And that makes a pretty top for your biscuit. So Owen's poured a little bit of buttermilk in a bowl, and he's got a brush, a rubber brush, and he's just going to lightly brush the top of each biscuit. And that helps take away too any defect that we have in the top and gives it a nice pretty coating. You can hear Pete in there complaining. The bird. He's already preheated the oven to 425. And the biscuits only take about 10 to 12 minutes to cut. So we'll put a timer on for that. All right, so biscuits are going in the oven.
And we're just gonna set the timer for 12 minutes. Set the timer for 12 minutes. So we've chopped up 1.5 pounds of sausage for the sausage gravy, and we're gonna add 3/4 cup of flour to it.
And he just used that chopper right there to chop up the sausage. And the sausage that we bought is the one in the rolls, you know, the pound per roll, not patties, pre-pattied out. And as it cooked on our handy dandy stovetop cooker, he would come over and chop it up in between making those biscuits. Now, as you see, the 3/4 cups, there really isn't a lot of grease in sausage. I know they find that hard to believe, but it's not going to make a roux for the gravy unless we add a little bit of butter. So we're going to add a little bit of butter and make that roux with the sausage and then the milk for the gravy. So we added half a cup,
One cup of one
Well,
cup
we
of
haven't
cup and a
added the
half.
milk yet, but we've added a half a stick of butter, is what I was going to say. And Ellen is going to stir that in before we add that. So we're going to make our roux and kind of brown the flour. So the butter's not quite melted yet. So, and you want to get it. Unpause. All right, so he's cooked this flour and sausage down till it's browned the flour a little bit. I guess what, about 3 minutes? So we've let it cook. And now he's got, what have you got there?
2 cups of milk.
And how Owen measures that is he knows that's a 4-cup measurer, so he fills it half full. And the next thing he's going to do is just stir that in. And we always add the 2 cups of milk and 1 cup of half and half. It makes it a lot creamier, really nice. So he's got, and of course, a 1 cup measuring cup for the half and half. And we'll just let that cook down and thicken. Then we'll taste it for salt, but we can go ahead and put some fresh ground pepper in it right now. So he'll crank that in there. And you can use regular pepper. We just all kind of like the fresh ground. All right, so he's checking the gravy now. It's a little probably on the thick side, so let's add a little milk. He's got just a fourth of a cup measured out. And we'll let that cook. And meanwhile, the timer just went off for the biscuits, so they've been in there about 12 and a half minutes, so we're going to go check on them. All right, so biscuits have been in there a little more than 12 minutes, and he's going to take them out. They've been in there 12 and a half, maybe 13 minutes, because we were fooling with the gravy. But they look absolutely perfect. Just to find the edge, not burn yourself. One of the other important things when Owen cooks is to know that his counter space is completely empty, and he can go right over here, put it on the counter, put it on the stove top, that nothing is going to be in his way that he bumps into. That's real important. You don't want to be walking across the kitchen and find yourself nowhere to put your hot pan. These look...
Okay, so who I mainly made this for this weekend was my sister Faith.
And
Hi,
now Faith is down here. What do you think about that biscuit?
Very fluffy and buttery. Looks yummy.
And we have, of course, over there, some honey and strawberry jam for those who want that on their biscuit too. And once our gravy got cooked down, we just put that crock pot on low crock pot. So now Faith's gonna give it a try. And we'll find out. Owen, did you pass the test?
Of the real chef.
Yes. What do you think? Can you eat it?
Very good. Owen, good job.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.